Today I will be sharing all of my family's favorite pantry staple ingredient dinners with you. These are true pantry staple ingredient dinners. I know there's a lot of recipes out there that say they're pantry staple dinners, but they're not. All of the ingredients are coming from the pantry. Nothing is sneaking from the fridge or the freezer. These are pantry staple dinners. My goal is to make these meals very affordable, but nutrient rich, high in protein, and taste absolutely delicious. Let's get to my kitchen. Let's get to cooking, and thanks to Wildgrain for sponsoring this video. To kick us off today, we are making this creamy tomato bacon pasta. So I do want to let you know all of these recipes are true pantry meals and they're very affordable. So none of these ingredients in today's video will need to be refrigerated at all, nor will they need to be in the freezer. So they're true pantry staple dinners that you could just keep in your pantry. So to a pot on the stove, add in your 16 ounces of fettuccine. Just go ahead and cook your fettuccine through, and then once your fettuccine is cooked through, just go ahead and strain it. I do want to let you know these are pantry staple dinners, but I am going to try to make sure there's plenty of nutrients and plenty of protein in all of these meals for today. Now to that same pot, add in your can of diced tomatoes along with 2.5 ounces of bacon bits and 15 ounces of Alfredo sauce. Also add in a half a teaspoon of pepper, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Just give this a stir and let it simmer on your stove for about 5 minutes. This recipe seriously comes together in minutes. It is so easy to throw together. And then after the simmering time is up, add your pasta back in, give it a little stir, and there you go. Simple, affordable, easy dinner for this first recipe for today. Now we're getting started on this chicken taco soup. When my husband and I were on food stamps in WIC, I would often have a lot of canned pantry staple ingredients on hand. So I did make this chicken taco soup often back then, and I still make it to this day very often. To a pot on the stove, add in your diced tomatoes, can of drained chicken, or you could really use any meat that you'd like. And then also add in your drained and rinsed black beans and pinto beans, your drained corn, green enchilada sauce, or you could use red enchilada sauce, cream of chicken soup. In either of my cookbooks, I do have some cream of soup substitutes, also a lot of different ingredient substitutes in the back of either of my cookbooks, my first one and my second one. I also added in my chicken broth, taco seasoning. Give this a super duper good stir, let it simmer on your stove for 20 minutes, then dinner is served. I do make this often in my slow cooker, just throw the ingredients in, let it simmer all day, but I was short on time on this night, so I just made it in a pot on the stove. This is absolutely delicious. You will never realize how affordable this dinner actually is. You could top it with your favorite toppings. I really didn't have fresh toppings on hand, so I just served it like this for this dinner, but I've topped it with tortilla strips, sour cream, cheese, lime in the past. Now we're making this vegetable noodle soup, and for years and years, this has been one of my #1 dinners. Towards the end of the month when we're running low on grocery money, this has kind of always been a go-to for me, and so many different variations you could make of this. This is also a perfect dinner in a bag. All of these recipes from today's video are dinners in a bag. So you could add all of the ingredients into a bag, tuck it away in your pantry, and then when you are in need of a dinner that is very affordable and easy to throw together, pull it out of your pantry, and there you go. You already have a meal ready to go. I believe Dollar Tree Dinners started the dinner in a bag idea, and I just love it. So if you want to see more dinners in a bag from me, let me know in the comments. But to your pot on the stove, add in your drained green beans. You could always use different veggies if you'd like. Also add in your diced tomatoes with oil and garlic. The oil and garlic adds so much flavor. Cantellini beans, 2 bouillon cubes, 5 cups of water, salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, rosemary, and then you're going to add in your 2 cups of pasta. Really any pasta will do, but we do like ziti pasta in my house for this recipe. Give this a stir, put the lid on top, and let this simmer until the pasta is tender. This vegetable soup will really surprise you and impress you. That rosemary mixed with the Italian seasonings, it just makes this soup out of this world good. It is absolutely delicious. The beans add tons of protein to it. It's filling, warm, cozy, and a total winner dinner. Now we're getting started on this chicken rice vegetable casserole. You could really use any vegetables that you like for this recipe. I've used like frozen broccoli cuts in the past. You could use like fresh veggies. You could really use any veggies that you like. For today, I am using a can of mixed vegetables just to keep this like, pantry staple. But like I said, use any vegetables that you have on hand or that you'd like to use. To a bowl, add in your drained can of mixed vegetables, drained can of chicken, then add in your cream of chicken soup along with a can of cream of mushroom soup. Then you're going to add in your box of rice-a-roni. I have used so many different like rice-a-ronis in the past. I've used like wild rice-a-roni, but today I am using chicken rice-a-roni. So add your rice in and then add in the seasoning packet that the rice comes with. After you're through adding that seasoning packet in, you're going to add in a half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper. Then you're going to add in a teaspoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of paprika, teaspoon of onion powder, and 1 cup of water. There you go. Very simple. Just give this a stir and then you're going to pull out your 9x13 baking dish. Spray your baking dish with nonstick spray, then add your casserole right in there. Spread the casserole out, so it's just in an even layer. Cover the top with foil just so that rice cooks properly. Then bake this in your preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 50 minutes. After 50 minutes, the rice should be like perfectly tender. Then you could serve this up. Your house will be smelling so good at this point. This is one of my go-to like warm, cozy casseroles, that just has simple pantry staple ingredients that you could just, keep in your pantry. This one is a winter dinner. My little ones also really love this one, especially when I use like that chicken rice-a-roni. It's a good rice-a-roni packet. If you're anything like me and you love the idea of having fresh baked bread and different goodies without spending hours and hours in the kitchen, this is for you. With Wildgrain, you get artisan quality breads, pastries, and more delivered right to your door, frozen and ready to bake, whenever you want. What I love most, besides the ease of having fancy bakery goodies in minutes, is that they do support small bakeries around the country. Also, with their boxes, you do get a rotating selection of like breads and baked goods delivered right to your door. It's always a fun little surprise when I get my box. I do get the normal box, but they have gluten-free and plant-based boxes. Also, their sourdough is not like anything I've ever tried before. They use a slow fermentation process. Also, they use like the real deal sourdough ingredients. If you use my code Julia, you'll get $30 off your first box plus a free item in every box. It's a sweet deal. So whether you're making sandwiches, hosting dinner guests, or just craving something cozy and warm after a long day, Wildgrain has your back. I'm so happy to partner with them and share this with you. Trust me, you'll want one of these boxes in your freezer. Now we are making my husband's favorite lentil soup. I have made so many different variations of this lentil soup over the years, but this is a perfect pantry staple variation of this lentil soup. So to a large pot on the stove, add in about 1.5 cups of dry lentils. This does make for quite a bit of lentil soup, so you could always half this recipe if you'd like. Add in 7 cups of water. Then you're going to add in 1 drained can of carrots. You could always use fresh carrots if you'd like, but that wouldn't make this like, pantry staple. Anyway, also add in 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. Then you're going to add in a drained can of jalapenos. That will just add some great flavor. Then add in a drained can of spinach. There is so much spinach in that can. It really is a great value. 2 bouillon cubes, a half a tablespoon of salt. You need a lot of salt for all these veggies. A teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 2 teaspoons of minced onion. That's a great way to go about onion if you are looking, for some pantry staple ingredients and you just don't have an onion on hand. I do recommend, minced onion. A tablespoon of garlic powder, and give this a stir. You're going to let this simmer on your stove for about 35 minutes. You want those lentils to be like buttery soft, so just let it simmer. This will be smelling so good at this point. Lentils are my #1 meat substitute. They are very affordable to buy at the store. They're very easy to cook with, and they have so much protein and different nutrients in them. This is a delicious soup to throw together. You absolutely need to try it. We had bowls and bowls of it. Now we're getting started on this vegetable stir fry. It has very simple ingredients, but it is bold and packed full of so much flavor. So to a pot on the stove, add in 3 packets of ramen. You're going to save the seasoning packets, just put them to the side. You'll only need 1 seasoning packet for this recipe, so you could place the other seasoning packets, just in your pantry. But to this pan on the stove, I'm adding my 28-ounce can of stir fry vegetables. I did drain this can. If you've never tried these canned stir fry veggies before, you absolutely need to give them a try. I typically use the frozen stir fry veggies for this specific recipe, but I do need to use these canned ones more often. But now I'm just going to strain my ramen and set it to the side, back over to my veggies. Now that they're cooking for about 5 minutes, I just added in my ramen seasoning packet, just one of those packets, along with 1/4 cup of low sodium soy sauce. Give this a stir, let these veggies cook in with the seasonings and the soy sauce for about a couple more minutes, and then you're going to stir in the ramen and then just let it cook together for a couple minutes, and then you could serve this simple dinner up. It has very simple ingredients in it, but it is bold, packed full of so many different veggies, and so delicious. Really is perfect for an easy weeknight meal. I really love the variety of different veggies in that canned veggie blend. Very delicious. I recommend this one. Now we're getting started on this Spanish rice soup. This is also a 10-minute dinner, so it comes together in seriously just minutes. It's also a dump and go recipe, so you throw the ingredients into your pot and you could go. You could also add diced tomatoes to this. You could really add anything you'd like. You could add green chilies, jalapenos, really anything will do. But to your pot on the stove, add in 1 drained and rinsed can of black beans, or you could really use any beans that you'd like if you don't care for black beans. A drained can of corn, 2 tablespoons of minced onion. The minced onion really works well for this recipe if you don't have regular onion on hand. Tablespoon of some taco seasoning, 1 packet of Spanish style rice. This 1 packet goes a long way in a soup. Add in 6.5 cups of water, and you're going to give this a stir. Let it simmer covered for about 10 minutes, and there you go. There is your 10-minute soup ready in minutes. It has protein in it. It has different nutrients in it. It is delicious and pantry staple. This one is a winter dinner. This is also a dinner that I do make often, especially at this time of year. It is so good. Now we're getting started on these red beans and rice. I do want to let you guys know I am here for you. I know there's so many people struggling in different ways, some due to the government shutdown, and I do want to let you know I might do a giveaway here in the near future with things for Christmas that you might need, like toys and gift cards and whatnot. So just be on the lookout for that, similar to what I did, I guess, for my recent Thanksgiving video. But to a pan on the stove, add in your oil and then add in your can of drained diced ham, or you could use other, meats like chicken. You could use veggies if you want to use a meat substitute. Then add in your box of red beans and rice, kind of give it a stir, let it cook for a couple of minutes. Then you're going to add in your 3 cups of water. You're going to give this another stir, let it cook for about 25 minutes with the lid on. You want the rice to be nice and fluffy, and then you could serve this up. There's so many different seasonings, and there's different veggies in that box of red beans and rice. It is a very delicious box. I had something like this often growing up, and I just loved it. It was one of my favorite meals. You'll never go unnoticed to me. I'm always so thankful for you guys sharing my videos with your friends and supporting me. So thanks for sharing my videos, and thank you for being here. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next video like this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.